It's like I was looking at the other things and holding the dollar.
Yeah.
And then everyone's kind of looking at me like, okay, what else is he going to pick? And I didn't pick anything else. I was just looking at everything. So then my mom's like, oh, maybe we need to take it and then he'll pick something else. So she took the dollar and then I immediately started crying. And then she gave me the dollar back and then I stopped crying. So they were like, I wonder what that means.
He obviously picked the dollar.
I hope it doesn't mean I'm like, I don't see myself as someone greedy or anything, so I don't know. We're like,
okay, don't worry. You are, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, he was one. Okay,
I was one. Maybe I just like the texture of the.
그럴 수도 있죠. I see. And so, did your mother raise you with a lot of Korean background stuff besides that sort of a thing, or was that you? Did you? We already established you didn't speak much Korean at home, right?
Yeah, we just spoke English at home. I went to Korean school a little bit as a child with my sister, but it wasn't enough to establish any kind of, knowledge of the Korean language. I think it was only like a few weeks, to be honest. But my grandmother, she was around a lot when I was from 1 to 7. She actually lived with us, and she would make us tteokguk and would make us like myeokguk on our like birthdays and stuff, and we would bow for money on like New Year's, and we would do those things.
And take money.
But I think it's strange being raised in a multicultural household. I think you kind of create your own culture because neither of my parents were born or raised in America. So sometimes they would be learning things from my sister and I, as in like, what is a homecoming dance, or like what is prom, or what is like what are American football or things like that. It was foreign to them.
Sure.
So it was a learning experience, I think, for all of us. And for example,
a very unique family background, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and another thing is, on my mom's side, basically all of my aunts married non-Koreans and uncles. So I have a lot of multi-ethnic cousins on my mom's side. I mean, when we get together for Thanksgiving or something, it's like, we joke, it's like the United Nations, because I have cousins who are half
Hispanic,
half Hispanic, half Korean, part Ukrainian Korean, Mexican Korean.
Really?
I mean, every race. So it's kind of crazy when we all get together. No one looks alike at all, and but we all have this common thing that we all share Korean blood, and I mean, I have to say, our Thanksgivings are the best because we have like every kind of food.
All the American food,
all the American
British
food. We got
food,
we got burritos next to like some Ukrainian dish that no one knows. But we're just it's great though when we all get together.
Nice samgyetang with
samgyetang, but then you mix in some Tabasco sauce and like just like
Tabasco and samgyetang. Okay,
you mix it all
trust
together.
You on that one. Okay,
but it's cool, especially now. I look back and I realize how unique of an experience it was, because
I mean, because I can think of a lot of couples that I know where a Korean and a foreigner married and they live in Korea, or a Korean and a foreigner and an American or a British person married, or Australian, and they live in the home country of the other person. I cannot think of a lot of couples where two people from two different cultures married and then lived in a totally separate culture and society. So.
Yeah,
that's pretty unique.
I guess it is. Like I said, when I was growing up, it's my life, so I didn't think it was anything, odd. But
you're teaching your parents about American culture.
Yeah, that was definitely. We're still sometimes talking about some things that we don't always agree on culturally. But I think that the best thing out of that was I could really get along with, I think, any person, just from any culture. It doesn't really, I don't really look at people and, if it comes to like racism or prejudice or anything, like there's nothing, I can't even force myself to prejudge people that way, because I'm just used to being in a place where that's so not an issue.
And
you know what I mean?
Race itself.
Yeah, race itself is just not an issue. I mean, no matter what, my parents are going to have multi-ethnic grandchildren because I'm already mixed myself. Yeah. So it's a different. I think it's different, definitely.
Yeah. I found it interesting when I was preparing for this interview because I saw another interview that you had done with someone else, and they said, "So, are you Korean or are you American, or how do you see yourself?" And you kind of just said, "Well, I'm just kind of me. It's not. I don't really consider myself only Korean or only American or anything. Just kind of."
In school, they always have the what do you call it? Scantron tests, where you fill in the bubble,
right?
And then they always say
there's a cultural thing, right? There's called Scantrons. Yeah, the little bubble tests.
Yeah, there's bubble tests A, B, C, D.
사자 성답. Yeah. Anyway,
so there's always a part where they say ethnicity. Maybe it's for they're trying to do a census or something on what percentage of students are from this race. What So there would always be Caucasian.
So you have multiple choice for your ethnicity.
Yeah, but the thing is,
you have to choose between one.
It says choose one on the test. So I look at it and I say, okay, when I was younger, I just fill in both. But then my thing would be counted wrong.
Right.
So then I think eventually there was another bubble called other. So I would just keep picking other, I guess, because I didn't want to pick one because it's silly to do that.
완전 다문화 가족, right? Very multicultural family you came from, and that's an interesting experience. Some people will, like, I'm American, of Italian ethnicity, French ethnicity, raised, but I've had people tell me before, you try to learn Korean. 제가 나름대로 한국말 열심히 공부했어요. And I've tried to study and learn Korean pretty hard, and people will go, but you're never going to be Korean, Steve. And I'll say, yeah, I'm not Korean, but then again, none of my friends care. Like, my good friends don't care that I'm not quite Korean. They don't see me as being Korean or American or anything. I'm just Steve,
That's really good, I think.
And I think that's what happens when you kind of get above and beyond the race and the culture and things.
Right.
But it's not easy to do.
No, it's not. And that's why I say, again, like, I feel privileged to be in the place where I've never had that. I mean, it's not that I have never encountered anything, I wouldn't say racism, but any kind of prejudice before, because in my high school there were a lot of Asian people, so they would see me as Caucasian more, actually. But then when I go to Boston, where there's not as many Asian people,